Today we create a sporty lower third in After Effects. Hey guys, what is up? This is Nikhil from dopemotions.com and welcome to this brand new After Effects tutorial. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to create a really nice and sporty looking lower third in After Effects, which is going to be really simple and easy to create. So even if you're a beginner in After Effects, you can understand it completely. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get straight into the video and get started. Alright, so here we are in After Effects. So let's start by creating a new composition. And let's make it 1920 into 1080. Let's make this 30 frames and 10 seconds. Let's rename this to main composition. This is going to be our main comp, and hit OK. So the first thing that I gonna want to do is turn on my title action save. So just to be a bit more precise, let's select a rectangle tool, and we don't need a stroke, we need the fill. Let's make it kind of a gray for now. And let's create a rectangle like so. Go to rectangle properties, rectangle part 1, unlink this, change the size to, let's say, maybe 400. Yep, that looks pretty good. And the height to, I'll go with 100. Let's place it right over there. Center the anchor point, and yeah, we are good to go. So this is our shape 1. So let's rename this to 1. Let's make it align properly to our title action save. And then what I can do is I can go into the rectangle transform properties right over here and skew this to -25. So we have a really cool looking shape, something like that. Let's close this up. Then we can go ahead and start animating it. So to do that, I'm going to go to, let's say, 25 frames, or let's go to 1 second. Select the layer and hit P to bring down the position properties. Click on the stopwatch to create a keyframe. Go back in time, and I'm just going to drag it by holding shift, just like that. So now we have something like that, pretty lame. So let's select the keyframes and hit F9 to ease them. Go to graph editor and let's drag this curve just like that. So now we have something like that. Really simple to do. Now what I can do is I can just duplicate it by hitting Ctrl D and go into the rectangle contents, rectangle 1, rectangle part 1, and I'll first of all change the color so we can identify it and see it more properly. I'll make it something around, let's go with 200 and bring down the height to maybe 70, or let's go with 65, and I'm going to place it right over here. You can use your arrow key just to be a bit more precise, just like so. Let's hit U so we can see the keyframes. So let's go right over here and make sure again the anchor point is in the center. By the way, I'm using the move anchor point script. I'll provide the link in the description so you can go and download it. Let's go back in time and let's drag it just right over here. So hit U so we can see the keyframes. Select the keyframes, hit F9 to ease them, and make a curve like so. So now we have something like that, you see. And then I can just drag this. Maybe I wanted to animate just for 15 frames. Select this, hit U so we can see the keyframes, and I'll place it somewhere around there. So now we have something like that, maybe a bit somewhere around there. And let's bring this below our first layer. So now we have something like that. Really simple to do. Maybe I'll just drag it a bit and let's see how it looks. Yep, that is looking pretty good. Yep, I'm happy with that. Then let's create our third shape. So I'm gonna select the first layer, hit Ctrl D to duplicate it, and go into the contents, rectangle path 1 right over here, and change the size to somewhere, let's go with 200, maybe let's go with 300, and bring down the height just right over there, maybe 60, and I'm going to place it right over here, just like that. Again, make sure the anchor point is in the center. So select layers, hit U so we can see the keyframes. So now we have something like that. Let's displace this. Select the third layer and just displace it according to your requirements. I'm going to displace it by 15 frames. So we have something like that, which looks pretty cool to me. You can see. Maybe I'll bring it right over here and bring this keyframe right over there. So this both comes together, looks pretty cool. I think I'll drag it to, let's say, 20 frames. So let's place it right over here. You can see we need to make the animation a bit longer, so we can just drag it right over here. So now we have something like that. Looks pretty cool. Yep. We can also turn on the motion blur, and that is going to make things look a bit more nicer. As you can see, looks pretty cool. So our base of our lower third is created. Let's create one more for our logo. So once it's created, let's hit U 2 times so we can see the properties, and let's maybe I'll bring it to 150 and this to somewhere around, let's go with 100, and let's go with 120. So we have something like that. Let's place it somewhere around there, somewhat like that, and again bring the anchor point in the center. So now we have something like that. I'm just going to displace it, I think, cause maybe that would look a bit more cool. So let's see. Yep, the displacement is making them look even more better. So let's hide the keyframes by hitting U. So we can turn off our title action save, and let's have a look. Let's see how it looks. You see we have a problem right over there. See, I think there are a bit keyframes more than we need. You can see we have a really big problem. So let's drag it just like that. So now let's see. There we go. Alright, so the animation is looking pretty good. So this is our base animation of our lower third. So let's go ahead and start adding some text to it. So this is our first one. So this is the logo, and yep, everything looks pretty good to me. So let's select our text tool and type in anything that you want to. I'm just gonna type in, let's say, YRST first text, and let's bring this down to 0. Bring this down just like that, and place it wherever you want to. Maybe I'll make it 35. Yep, that is looking pretty good. Let's set this to 25. You can obviously take your time to set up your text, just like the way I'm doing right now. Then hit Ctrl D to duplicate it. This is gonna be our main text. We'll increase the size a bit, just like that. Just place it right over here. Hit Ctrl D to duplicate it. Let's make it a bit smaller, just like that. Place it right over here. And this is going to be our third text. I'll just turn off the motion blur just for the moment. So now it's time to give a little bit of animation to the text as well. So to do that, now for logo, I can just type in anything that I want. I'm just going to type in DM. So let's consider this as our logo. Something like that. So let's say for now this is our logo. Alright, so our text and logo are ready. Now what I'm going to do is select my text first of all, hit P to bring down the position properties. I don't think it would work that way. Let's see what we can do. Actually, let's just leave that. Well, I'm going to start one by one with the first text. So let's select this and make sure select the shape. Hold shift and select the text. Let me just select this right away and change the color so we can just identify that this both are together, just like that. Main text and this shape. I'll make this red so we can just see it. So bring the main text right over here and select the third text and this shape. So let's make it green, maybe place it just like that. And finally the logo and the fourth shape. So let's make it pink. Alright, so now you can see we have properly arranged it. I can't even speak that word right now. I don't know why. Anyway, so let's start by the logo. From the logo. So let's select the text and hit P to bring down the position properties. Let's select the logo shape and hit U so we can see the keyframes. Let's go right over here. Select the DM, that is our logo. Let's place it right over there. And create a keyframe on the position. Go back in time. And just drag it just a little bit. Select it and hit F9 to ease them. Go to graph editor and just create a curve like that. So now we have something like that. So we have a little bit of animation for our text as well. And then what I can do is I can select the fourth shape, hit Ctrl D, and this is going to be our matte for the logo. And what this is going to do is it's going to cut up or crop the logo according to the shape. So by that I mean I can just click right over here. So we have our track matte option and bring the track matte above our DM logo or text, whatever you can say. And you can see if I set this to alpha matte right off the bat, we get something like that. Looks really nice. It's really subtle, but it gives a little bit of detail to our animation, as you can see. And that is the same thing that I'm going to do with all the text. So let's go one by one. So there we have our first text. Select the layer as well, or the shape as well. Hit U and hit P for the position. Go right over here. Create a keyframe, go back in time and drag it a little bit just like that. Select the keyframes and hit F9 to ease them. Graph editor and the same exact process. And I don't really like to fast forward the video, so I just don't do it. I like to work in real time so you guys can get an idea that it's not, it doesn't take really much time to do it. And especially when I see tutorials that fast forward things, I don't know, I just hate it. So let's select the layer and hit Ctrl D and let's rename this to matte. Let's bring it on the top and select the layer, set the track matte to alpha matte. So now we should have something like that. As you can see, looks really cool. Let's do for this one as well. Hit U, hit P, create a keyframe, go back in time and drag it just a little bit just like that. Select it, F9, graph editor. And by the way, if your graph editor doesn't look like this, make sure you're working in the edit speed graph and not in the edit value graph. Okay, this is looking pretty good. So let's select this, hit Ctrl D to duplicate it and create this, the matte. Bring it on the top, set this to alpha matte. Yep, this is looking pretty good, as you can see, and the last one as well. create a keyframe, go back in time, just a little bit, select the keyframes, hit F9 to ease them, go to graph editor and create a curve. There we go. Hit Control D, and this is gonna be the matte. Bring it on the top, set the text track matte to alpha matte, and there we go. We have our animation. Looks really cool and nice, and I kind of like it a lot. That little animation gives a little bit more detail to our lower third, but we are not done yet. We can obviously turn on the motion blur for everything, which will make it look even more better. And just right now you can see the colors are looking really nice, kind of arranged properly. I swear I don't really work this, what to say, this what is that word, trying to be more, I guess, I don't know, fuck it. Anyway, so there we are with our animation. So let's color this up. So let's select this, and I'm gonna add a gradient to it. So click right over here, select the gradient, hit OK. I'll place it just like that, and somewhere around there, and I'm gonna make it kind of a blue, something like that, and this one is gonna be a darker blue, something like that. Now obviously you can select any of your favorite color that you like without any issues. I'm gonna go into contents, rectangle 1, gradient fill. I'm gonna hit Control C to copy it, select this one, and Control V to paste it up, but it doesn't really work that way. I don't know why. Let's go into contents, let's select the rectangle, Control V. So yep, delete the fill basically. There we go, and the same thing for this one as well. So let's go right over here, contents, rectangle 1, delete the fill, and hit Control V. Oh, select the rectangle 1 and hit Control V, and select our main, and let's give it a gradient, but this time I'm gonna make it white. Let's make it white and make this gray just like that, and we can just drag it just like that. There we go, and change the text color to a blue color, and there we go. Looks really cool. So let's go ahead and add some accents to make it look even more sporty. You can see looks really nice. So now what I can do is I can select my pen tool and create a new shape. So let's go right over here, and I'm gonna create a shape from just like that. Increase the stroke, maybe around 20, and go into the contents, this shape 1, and go into, we don't need the gradient on the stroke, so delete it. Go to stroke, and I'll need to go into transform shape 1 and skew it just like we did before, so minus 25. There we go. It may change the position, so make sure the anchor point is in the center, and I'll just select this and just drag it just like that. Let's rename this to stroke, and go ahead and add a trim path. There we go. Let's close this up, and we can animate it just like that. See, I want it to animate just right over there, so I'm just gonna hold and drag it just like that. Alright, so let's select the main, or this one, this shape, and hit U so we can see the keyframe to understand the time of animation, and hit U so we can see the properties, and let's animate the trim path. So I'm gonna create a keyframe at 1 second, go back in time and set this to 0, or maybe I'll just go to 15 frames and drag this keyframe right over there, and go to 10 frames, create a keyframe on start properties, go right over here and bring this up to 100. So now we should have something like that. Looks pretty cool. Select this, hit F9 to ease them, go to graph editor and let's select this just like that, and make sure to select the handles, just drag it just like that. It's not looking really cool. Maybe I'll just need to select this handles and just drag it a little bit, select this handles and drag it a little bit just like that. So let's see what we have. Yep, this is looking a lot better. Let's see the animation. The stroke is just too big. Maybe I'll make it 12. So as you can see, it looks pretty cool. Let's change the color of the stroke to the blue color. So as you can see, it looks really cool. You can go right over here and just crop this up by holding Alt and close bracket, and then we can basically just duplicate it by hitting Control D. Let's hit U so we can see the keyframes. Select the keyframes and just drag it right over here, basically wherever you want. So something like that looks really cool, as you can see. And I'll just decrease this to maybe 7. Really nice and thin, and as you can see, it looks really cool. You can basically go into the paths as well and just make it a bit small just like that, or maybe I'll make it big. Even that may look cool. Just make it all the way up like that. Yep, that is looking really cool. Maybe I'll create one more copy, hitting Control D on the keyboard and drag it just like that. Place it maybe somewhere around there, and maybe I'll make it white. And by the way, you can do it with any kind of shape or any kind of color that you like. Yep, I'm liking it. So let's hit Control D and place this right over here for our secondary text. You see, you set this to 5. Hit Control D, place it somewhere around there, make it big just like that. So now we have something like that. You can see it looks really cool. I'm kind of liking this effect, really. Something like that, and you can make it basically as complex as you want, and you can see looks really nice and cool. So now one more thing that I would like to show you guys is how you can, I get many questions asking how you can reverse this effect to animate it out, and it's basically really simple. Just select the layers, pre-comp it. Let's name this LT for lower thirds. Hit OK. So let's say I want this lower third to be around all the way up to 5 seconds. So I'll go to 2.15 frames or 2 seconds 15 frames. Hold Alt and crop this up by hitting on the close bracket. Hit Control D to duplicate it. Right click, go to time and time reverse layer, and hold Shift and just drag it so that it snaps in right over there. And there you have your out animation. Really simple and easy to do. So as you can see, it is really simple and easy to create, but looks pretty cool and interesting. So yep, that is a wrap for today. I hope this video helps you guys, and if it does, make sure to comment down below. Subscribe to this channel. We are almost about to reach 30,000 subscribers, which is freaking awesome. Like, when I started this channel, it took me exact 1 year to reach 3,200 subscribers. Like in 1 year, I just reached to 3,200 subscribers, and now it's almost January, February, March, April, May, yep, 2.5 years exactly, and we are about to reach 30,000 subscribers, and that is freaking awesome. So just smash that subscribe button, guys, and Don't forget to subscribe, comment and like, and I'll see you in my next video. Till then, take care. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and don't forget to stay raw, stay creative.